Have you ever wondered why some people experience the world a little differently? Today, let's talk about autism, what it is, what it isn't, and why understanding it matters for every single one of us. Ready? Let's dive in. Autism, or autism spectrum disorder, is a lifelong neurodevelopmental difference. That's a big phrase, but it simply means the brain develops and processes information in its own unique way. Autism is not an illness, and it's nothing that needs to be fixed. It's a different way of experiencing the world. Autistic people are born autistic, and they stay autistic their whole lives. You've probably heard the word spectrum, but the spectrum is not a line from a little autistic to very autistic. It's more like a color wheel. Every autistic person has their own mix of traits: communication, sensory sensitivity, focus, routines, each at different intensities. That's why people say if you've met one autistic person, you've met one autistic person. So what's happening inside? Autistic brains are wired differently. Some connections are stronger, some are quieter. Information can arrive all at once, in vivid detail, instead of being automatically filtered. Imagine hearing every single instrument in an orchestra separately, all the time. Amazing? Yes. Overwhelming? Sometimes absolutely. That brings us to the senses. For many autistic people, lights can feel brighter, sounds louder, and textures more intense. A busy supermarket might feel like a rock concert. When it all becomes too much, it can lead to sensory overload or even a meltdown. And a meltdown is not a tantrum. It's a nervous system crying. Too much input. Quiet spaces and headphones can be real lifesavers. Communication can work differently too. Some autistic people talk a lot, some speak very little, and some don't use spoken words at all. They might type or use pictures instead. Eye contact can feel uncomfortable, and that's perfectly okay. And many autistic people understand language literally, so if you say it's raining cats and dogs, expect a puzzled look. Ever seen someone rock back and forth, flap their hands, or repeat sounds? That's called stimming, short for self-stimulation. It helps regulate emotions and sensory input, like a pressure valve for the brain. Stimming can express pure joy, calm the nerves, or help with focus. Stimming is healthy. It doesn't need to be stopped. It needs to be understood. Autism usually shows up in early childhood. Signs can include delayed speech, intense focus on favorite interests, repeated movements, or strong reactions to sounds and textures. But in many people, especially girls, it's spotted much later, sometimes only in adulthood. And a diagnosis is not a label to fear. For many, it's a huge relief. Finally, an explanation that makes everything click. Now let's talk strengths, because there are plenty. Many autistic people have deep, passionate interests and can focus for hours. They often spot patterns and details that others miss, think outside the box, and make honest, loyal friends. From science, to art, to technology, autistic minds have helped shape our world. But here's something important. Many autistic people learn to hide their traits just to fit in, forcing eye contact, suppressing stims, rehearsing conversations. It's called masking, and it is exhausting. Masking all day can lead to burnout, anxiety, and depression. That's why acceptance matters. When people can safely be themselves, everyone breathes easier. Time to bust some myths. Myth 1. Vaccines cause autism. False. Completely debunked by dozens of large studies. Myth 2. Autism is caused by bad parenting. Absolutely false. Myth 3. All autistic people are geniuses or the opposite. Nope. Autistic people are as varied as anyone else. Myth 4. Autism only affects boys. False again. Girls and women are autistic too. They're just diagnosed less often. Here's a helpful idea: neurodiversity. Just like biodiversity makes nature stronger, the variety of human minds makes humanity richer. Autism, ADHD, dyslexia. These are natural variations of the human brain, not defects. The world needs all kinds of minds. Dreamers and doers, detail lovers and big picture thinkers. Imagine how much we would lose if every brain worked exactly the same way. So how can you be a good friend or ally? Be patient. Give people time to process and respond. Say what you mean, clearly and kindly. Don't force eye contact, respect routines, and ask before changing plans. Accept stimming. And most of all, listen to autistic people themselves. They are the true experts on autism. Autism is a different way of being human, not a lesser one. About 1 in 100 people worldwide is autistic. So chances are you already know someone on the spectrum. Understanding, patience, and acceptance can change lives. Different, not less. Share this message, and let's make the world a friendlier place for every kind of mind. Thanks for watching.